Welcome back to another episode of Excuse My Grandma. It's Kim and my co-host.
Grandma Gail.
We have such an amazing guest today. First, let's do a little bit of maintenance before we introduce who it is. Grandma, we need to pay our bills. You need to get paid. So everyone needs to follow us on social media. Excuse My Grandma. Please subscribe wherever you're listening to podcasts. It makes such a difference for the show. Now let's get into it. Today we have Jeff Ross. He's the Roastmaster General. I'm so excited to talk to him. You know him from his celebrity roasts. Grandma, I don't know if I even read you this list. Pamela Anderson, Charlie Sheen, Justin Bieber, Rob Lowe, Donald Trump, Tom Brady. Like, it literally goes on and on. And now he's starring in Jeff Ross Take a Banana for the Ride, a one-man show running August 5th to September 28th at the Nederlander Theater. I was there opening night. I loved it. So we're going to discuss.
Oh.
Jeff, welcome to Excuse My Grandma.
This is so cool. And thank
we're
you.
Wearing yellow.
I was about to say,
yellow.
I am so flattered by your attire, ladies.
Oh, thank you. We wanted to be in theme. And do you know butter yellow is very trendy now?
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not know that.
So
Butter
it's
yellow.
Butter yellow.
And you look both beautiful in butter yellow.
Thank
My
you.
new favorite
Thank
expression.
you.
You don't have to be nice to us. You're allowed to roast us throughout the episode
Okay,
if you
great.
do want.
Good to know. Noted.
Grandma's been roasting me for 29 years, so I'm
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm going to continue. It's just a continual roast.
I love this fact that this is a grandmother-granddaughter podcast. It's
Thank
so unique.
you. Oh, that's so nice. I mean, you talk a lot in your show about these multi-generational stories as well. Family's so important to you. Do you think that now is a great time in the media landscape to be telling these stories and that there's a need for this?
You know, I've been telling family stories my whole life,
Mm.
not always on this platform on Broadway, but to me, that's what sustains me.
Mhm.
It's when my nephew graduated college right before I started rehearsals, and I did not have time to go to his graduation, and I still went because I knew I needed that more than rehearsals.
That's so nice.
I needed the fill.
Right.
My heart had to be full.
Mm-hmm.
you
Well,
know?
And it is something about family attending those kind of things. And if you don't do it, you'll feel, oh my gosh, I missed a moment.
Yeah.
I agree. Those moments never come back.
Right.
The rehearsal will come back, but the
Right.
moment of his graduation is a
I
wonderful.
had to
thing.
be there just
That's
because
wonderful.
to see how happy it made my sister.
Right.
You know,
Well, that's right.
it's important to me. And that's what the show's about. So Take a Banana for the Ride is something that I've been thinking about and working on since I was your age. I was a young comic, did a show about my parents and my grandfather, and I didn't have the emotional strength to keep it going back then. And I resurrected it now for Broadway.
Yeah. Also, your sister was there opening night.
Yeah.
There were so many stars there. I was
Is she younger or older?
She's 16 months younger.
Oh, so you're almost like twins.
Yeah.
And I was going to say, too, I still hold it against my brother that he didn't come to my entire college graduation.
Well, he
came-
came to most of
He
it.
came to the first day and not the other events, but I remember that.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, because
Let him off
but
the
he wasn't
hook.
mature. He wasn't mature
in
enough.
high school
He
or
was in
whatever
high
it
school.
was.
Yeah,
It
you're a
wasn't
big
about
star
that.
now. You got to float above that stuff.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
exactly.
Fine. I'm over it. As Jeff told me.
He's still there. She wasn't over it 5 minutes ago,
Yeah,
but now
now
she's
I am.
I'm
over.
very good at handling these family dynamics.
Yeah,
I
I'm
can help
sure.
you with navigate this.
So why do you think Broadway was the right format for this if you've been working on this material so long?
Well, for me, it was more like a dream. I saw Jackie Mason on Broadway when I was a young comic. My Aunt Bess took me. And I remember every joke, and I remember her laughing at the setups. He didn't even get to the punchlines
You
yet.
just walk on the stage and would laugh.
And I was like, and he's like, how many people in this theater? This guy and this guy. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is one person by themselves captivating this Broadway theater. And I always remember that. Every time I go to a Broadway show, it's a little bit like when some kids go to a Yankee game.
Right.
And they go, if that guy ever got sick, I'd be out there playing shortstop. So even as a young man, I was like, wow. Even when I go to Broadway shows now, I'm in the audience going, if I was up there right now, I would knock them dead.
Right.
So I had to see that through for myself.
Mhm.
I hung on to my apartment for 20 years in New York, even though I was living and working in Los
Yeah.
Angeles. I was like, I'm going to need that apartment when I do
That's
Broadway
amazing. You
someday.
manifested it.
I did.
That's so
It's
wild.
something I've only recently learned how to do, but it was more like an insurance policy. I was like, let me keep the apartment for
You
when.
never know when you're gonna go back.
Yeah.
Right. I feel like building a one-man show is extremely daunting, and who kind of was your team behind you working on this? Did you write the material completely? Like, where was the support?
I have tremendous support. I'm not up there alone.
Mhm.
A director, my agent and manager were really the first ones to say, um, well, you've had some hits recently. I lost 3 good buddies
Well,
within 8 months,
yeah.
and my managers and Amy said, "Maybe you should look back at your old show and see what you were talking about as a young man when it came to
Mhm.
resilience and mourning and bouncing back."
Right.
And, more recently, I lost Bob Saget, Gilbert
Oh,
Gottfried,
Mhm.
and Norm Macdonald. Like, I call them the Mount Roastmore. These
Yeah.
guys were so darn funny, and when they went in 8 months, it made me question my own mortality and go, "Why am I the one left to tell the story?"
yeah.
And I better tell the story, and what
So
better way to
people
tell it.
know.
Yeah,
Exactly.
and I
Yeah.
like keeping their names alive.
Mhm.
I like talking about my friends. If the show was all me, 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 I'd be bored.
Right.
But because it's about my parents and I read their love letters and it's
Mhm.
about my Pop Jack, who told me to take a banana for the ride when I was a young comic, he was giving me life advice. He didn't even realize it.
Right.
Mhm.
He thought he was just giving me a snack in case I got stuck in the Holland Tunnel.
Right.
He'd give me 40 napkins and a banana. I was like, Pop, I don't need it. But, in the end, it stayed with me forever.
Mhm.
And I like it that it's a tribute to some of the people who made me who I am.
Totally. And there were a lot of very tender moments in there and harder moments you had to go through, as you're saying. How did you balance that with the more light comedic moments?
Oof. Funerals, practice.
Yeah.
Being the funny guy in unfunny situations gave me this. Sometimes I think it's a superpower because I don't always control it and I don't know where it comes from. But in the saddest situations, I can make people laugh.
And that's very important.
Mhm.
As we age, especially, you're very young, so you're not at that stage yet. But still, even when something doesn't go right in your young age, if you can laugh about something, even for 5 minutes of the day,
Yeah.
it makes you feel better.
Yeah.
And that's just what he does. And
Mhm.
he's taken a serious, sometimes really tragic parts of your life. And if you can get a little bit of humor out of it, it's wonderful. It's uplifting. It's uplifting for himself and for us, but for the audience who listens to it, because everybody has trauma.
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't care who they. My mother used to say, "What was the old thing? If you put keys in the table and you mix them all up, you're going to grab your own keys back.
Oh,
Your
something
own."
like that.
Well, it was something like that. Whether it was, but it's really true because everybody has issues and
Yeah.
everybody has tragedies, and if you can find some humor in some of it, it makes life a little easier.
Mhm.
It not just easier. In my case, I took so many hits as a young guy. I feel like it saved my life. I feel like I would have been some wreck.
Right.
So I don't know, unemployed, a drug addict. Like when people lose their parents as a
Right.
teenager, sometimes things go upside down pretty quick.
That's correct.
And
So how did you and your sister survive that? Were you young when your parents evidently died?
I was 12 when my mom got sick, 14 when she died, and
Right.
19
That's
when
very young.
19 when my dad died.
Your
So
sister was younger.
yeah.
So who did you live with? Your grandparents?
No, we were we were in college. So
Oh, really?
one of the
Well, she
things I
wasn't in
talk about in the
college.
show,
Was she in
she
college?
was graduating high school.
Okay.
So I switched her admissions from one college to another to be closer to
To-
me.
That's
So we
wonderful.
wound up being in the same college,
Mhm.
Boston University.
Right.
Very they accepted her acceptance to another school.
Oh,
And
terrific.
I put the house in my name so that she could get financial aid.
It's
Like I
terrific.
was a smart kid at
You
19. I
were.
figured out a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Um,
I love in the show when you were like, people wanted to adopt us, and we were like, no, I want to live by myself in my
yeah.
own house.
Yeah, they were like, "You're an orphan now."
Yeah.
We're like, "No, we're good. We're
Yeah.
good."
Yeah.
And that's where the resilience part comes in. And you have to be open to help. You have to be open
Mhm.
to patting yourself on the back, not always waiting for someone else to do it for you. And
Mhm.
and I just didn't want to waste my life.
So, what was your first taste of the comedic role? I mean, where you graduated college, I guess, or you
Yeah.
went to. So, when did this start? Right away, or did you go into some other related business first and then go into comedy?
I didn't even think about comedy in college. I was a film major and a
Okay,
political science major, and I
right.
was very everything I wrote was very serious,
Uh-huh.
dramatic. I was you know, that was my life experience was intense like that,
Right.
and those are the kind of thoughts I had. It wasn't until a couple of years after college I was making training films for a health and beauty aids company.
Mm.
And you know, I knew I knew I could make people laugh, but that wasn't a commodity.
Right.
That was just
You didn't know
something
if
I
that was
did
a career.
to talk to people in a bar, you
Mhm.
know, like or maybe to make a woman laugh, you know.
Did you have a pickup line that you used?
No, I've never been good at that.
Just improv.
My best pickup line has always been, "Hey, do you want to come to my show?"
That's not
I
bad.
don't
That's
really
good.
have an
That's
opener.
Yeah.
enough. That's enough.
So when I have no show, I'm really stuck.
He's
Right.
sitting in his house watching television like us.
To me, it was a survival mechanism, you know, like just keep laughing about it and throw your arms up in the air and go,
Mhm.
you know, what the heck? This is
Mhm.
life.
Yeah. Well, so you mentioned your parents' love letters, you
Yeah.
wear your grandfather's ring. Are there any other, like, family heirlooms that you didn't mention in the show? I feel like I'm always stealing things from my
She's
grandma.
always in my closet.
More like
This
a
is one
Birkin
of the things
bag, but
we laugh about because she's got a closet full of things herself, but somehow it
I'm
always looks
jealous.
better. It always looks better in her grandma's closet.
if it's your stuff, yeah.
I'm jealous because the heirlooms that I held on to of my grandfather's are like his false teeth in a
Oy.
little
Oh God.
case. So you're doing really well
You
with
don't
the
have to worry
bands.
because my teeth are all good. They're going
Yeah,
down
okay.
with me.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
And I got his union card and I got his
Right.
denim jacket, you know, like stuff I couldn't
Mhm.
part with.
Right.
So and I have all my parents' love letters from when my dad was in college writing to my mom. I read one of them
Yeah.
in the
Mm.
show. And that was the hardest part was finding out deciding which one and
Right.
I'm
like going
sure.
through it all. And
Even the photos behind you throughout the show, like, probably picking those I mean, I was talking about this earlier, actually. Now, if I look at a lot of photos of my childhood, some of them early years were in photo albums, but now they're kind of just all on my phone.
yeah,
And I was like, is that gonna change the experience? Like, it's so nostalgic that you have all of these photos.
I
It
think it
I think
does.
it does too. Because you constantly are in my closet looking at my photo
Right,
albums.
because it's nostalgic for me to look at
But
your life,
right, my life,
but
right. But it was
I
also
feel
you
like
in it.
my future kids, like, what are they gonna just
They're not
scroll their
buying
camera
albums
roll?
anymore. They're
I
not buying
know, but
albums. They have to hold on to your phone and look through it.
yeah, it's just a different experience.
That's why I made the set look like a photo album
Mhm.
almost or not a photo album, but like the wall
Collage,
at
a
someone's
collage of
house
photos,
when they
right.
have all the family pictures up.
Right.
I wanted it to feel like that because we're always in our phones, and
That's right.
you know, I'd be on a plane if I'm bored on a plane, I'll look at all my favorites and
Mhm.
go, oh,
It's so
sometimes it makes you
fun.
sad, but it's in your hand. You
Mhm.
shouldn't be able to carry your whole life around in your hand like that, but we do.
But we do.
Yeah. There is something special about that. It was so nice watching yours because I feel like everyone does think about their own
Yeah,
situation and their own family, and
yeah.
it's very, very relatable. You also had your
Thank you.
great grandma Rosie that you
Yeah,
talk about a ton.
yeah,
My grandma gives me rules all the time to live
yeah,
by. Did
yeah.
she give you any dating rules or just life advice rules?
Here's the interesting thing. My middle name is Ross, right?
Mhm.
I talk about that in the show. I'm
Mhm.
very open about all that. I'm named after her, which means she passed away right before I was born. But she's the only member of my family that I'm jealous of because she had the swag. She was the boss. She was a pioneer in her field. So, yes, she led by example. Everyone talked about her when I was a kid,
Right.
great grandma Rosie, and you're named after her. And
Mhm.
So she's sort of this, I don't even want to say matriarch because that diminishes it to a gender.
Mm.
She was the boss.
Right.
She was a pioneer. She started a kosher catering hall in Newark in the 50s. Women did
Didn't work.
not do that back
That's
then.
right.
Right? So
That's right.
she lived above the catering hall with her husband, who worked for her, my great grandpa Gus, and her partner, like her business partner,
So
this
cool.
guy. So like she was really running this operation. So she's the jumping off point of the show and a big inspiration from my life because she would throw the family parties that I try to throw now. She kept all these crazies together. She was the one handing
There's always
out.
one person that keeps a family together, and when that person disappears, somehow the family flies away
Or
into
hopefully
different
someone
angles.
can take
Correct.
that place.
Well, it doesn't usually happen. It doesn't usually
It
happen.
takes
Very
a while. It
yeah.
takes the next generation to mature. And now I feel like my cousins and my sister and I, we all kind of do it.
Right.
And I think and my sister and I started it by getting a beach house big enough for
Together.
25 of us,
Right.
That's fine.
you know, on the summers down at the Jersey Shore.
But it's terrific. So you can keep each other in the loop. How many children does your sister have?
She has two. They're
They're
both
mature at this point.
they both had big weeks. I might as well shout them out.
Yeah.
My nephew Mitchell and his lovely fiance Melody came in and saw my show and stayed with me this weekend
No.
and asked me in the cutest way to officiate their wedding next
Love
year.
it.
So nice.
So
Oh, you're
shout
gonna
out
kill it.
to Mitchell and Melody. I'm already writing.
Yeah, I'm
the
sure.
bit. And my nephew Jared, who I mentioned earlier, just graduated college. I mentioned him in the show. He in the summers he fights wildfires. He's very brave. I don't want to say too much. Today was an intense day for him. He's doing great, and I love you, buddy.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
so
So-
Yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
Great.
So nice. Were there any stories, family stories or otherwise, that got cut out of the show?
Oh my gosh, 1,000. I could do a whole other show on
Yeah, I'm sure.
each family member. You know, gosh.
You know, you forget when in the time when he was growing up, families really stuck together much more. They were not as mobile. People
Right.
didn't go to different from the East Coast. They didn't go to the West Coast. They
Right.
stayed in their own community for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
So stories built up from generation to generation, and people knew the stories.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So which is a wonderful thing. Now so many stories are lost because the kids don't know their aunts and uncles or their grandparents.
Well, they don't care because
And they-
Instagram's more interesting.
Well, I don't know if it's more. I don't know if it's more interesting. I just think they're not part of it.
Yeah.
I really think if they knew it and were spend time with their older relatives or their cousins or whatever, they would take an interest.
It's a new way to connect. Like now that you are on Instagram, even though
it's
you're
not the
scrolling,
same.
of
It's
course
not
it's
the
not the
same.
same. But I'm saying we could like send things back and forth.
Yeah, it's not the same as looking at you and touching your
No,
hand
of course
and
not.
having your pasta or having your pot roast, talking about the recipe. You know, it was a different kind of continuity in a family.
Mm,
It's different.
yeah.
I long for it sometimes. And
lot
one
of
of the
people do.
things I talk about in the show is that I miss that. And
Mhm.
my dad wrote me a letter saying, "I'm sorry if you missed that."
Right.
And there's something really genuine about that is hard to
Who writes letters today? Do you know anybody?
nobody.
We're texting.
Yeah.
We're texting. I
If
don't.
you get a letter today, you're nervous.
You know it's
Yeah.
the IRS, and you probably think it's a scam
Or jury duty.
or jury duty.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's really
Yeah, I know,
true.
or it's my neighbor asking me to move my bike out of the hallway, you know,
Yeah.
because he did.
There won't be a letter. It'll be a note on a post-it.
Right. You know, so I'm trying to keep some of that
Alive.
alive and thriving. Like a lot of people are telling, you know, I wanted to sell stationery at the theater, but I couldn't get that done in time. You know, take a banana for the ride station because people
That's
leave and
cute.
they want to write a letter. They'll tell me, you know, oh, the letters in your show made me want to write to my kids or to my grandpa or whatever.
Yeah.
That's terrific.
Yeah, that's to me, that's the
Yes.
what really gets me excited to do it every night. If
Mhm.
it was just about me and my life, I'd be bored already. But because I can do it about not just my family, but your family, like when I talk about my great grandma Rosie in the show, I don't keep her picture up very long because I want you and you to see your great grandma in there.
Right.
And when I talk about my Uncle Murray, I want you to think about your uncle
Right.
that, teased you when you were little or whatever that means to you, and your dog. I don't
Mhm.
hit you over the head with a lot of pictures. I put them in there for effect, but I really want people to see their families and their lives in the story. And that way it's like a doggy bag. You take it home with you and you're still thinking about it.
100%, and it definitely worked that way.
Thank you.
It was extremely emotional, and that really can only happen, I feel like, because we're empathizing and we're thinking of our own situations. So I
Where were
really
you
loved
sitting?
that. Oh, I was sitting orchestra right.
Good seat.
Well,
I got
she's
good
friendly with
seats
one of the
with one of the
with
producers.
Mark's wife.
Yeah,
Mark and
with the
Natasha
Cornstein.
Kornstein, who have
Yeah.
been the greatest champions of this show. It's all of our first time on Broadway, and we're
Mhm.
really digging in and loving the doing of it. The
Right.
process is so fun.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it, but my grandma and I have gone to
always go.
Broadway together since I was a little kid, and it's
We love it.
always something it's so sentimental to us,
Yeah.
and I feel like a lot of New Yorkers feel that way too.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
connected.
And I grew up in Jersey, so when
Yeah.
you went to a Broadway show, it was a big
special.
deal.
It was a
Mhm.
big.
You
We
had to
talk
go.
about that often.
Yeah.
I used to live in a suburb too. Growing up, that was a big production.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to go to get something to eat before.
Right.
What are you going to do after? Where you're going to
Yeah.
park, and the playbill and all of it. Is
Yeah.
just
Kimmy
wonderful.
collects all her playbills.
I do.
You're-
Now
you're
yours is in the
you're her
collection.
collection.
Oh, that's nice.
What's the best advice you got from a friend about being on Broadway?
Ooh. Well, I don't know about a friend, but a hero of mine is Billy Crystal. I guess I'll call him a friend. And I asked him because I loved his solo show, 700 Sundays.
Mhm.
And I reread it recently for inspiration. And he warned me, and I was like, He said, you're not going to want to stop. He's like, don't try to shoot it for TV right away.
Right.
Enjoy the Broadway of it all.
The experience.
And you might think you'll want to be done with it. You'll be sick of it. You won't.
That's
It'll
interesting.
and because I tried this years ago and I really couldn't sustain it. It was too emotional. But I figured out a couple of things in my head. Like for instance, I wear a banana colored suit with little diamond bruises on it. By wearing the costume, essentially, I can take it off, put it in the dressing room, and go out to dinner with my friends. I can leave the emotions
That
in the
behind.
theater. And because I'm not playing a character, I'm
Yeah,
playing
right,
myself.
So hard.
With all due respect to Audra McDonald, who I just saw in Gypsy, I was
Right.
blown away.
Yeah.
She could still take the wig off and the costume and go and leave it there
Yeah.
till the next day. I got to leave with my real dog and my real emotions.
Right.
And so,
Wait, is your dog in every show?
oh yeah.
I thought just because it was opening night. That's amazing.
Oh, she's crushing it.
Oh, she's the best.
She is hitting. She knows her lines better than I do.
Yeah, so good.
So Billy warned me that I might not want to give it up so fast, and I kind of see that happening. Yeah.
So
yeah.
don't give it up.
Yeah, maybe
Get
not.
another city. That's all. Just keep.
That's
it going
all.
for a
Just get
while.
another opportunity. It's not that
No,
easy.
you'll do
but
it.
I'm sure, yeah, like people are obviously loving it. So I'm sure all the opportunities will come. But it's also like, I can't believe you're on every night, like pretty much. I would die.
8 shows a week.
That's crazy.
I thought it would be a lot harder on me than it is.
Okay, that's good.
My voice gets because
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
also doing press and,
Right.
and others, my real life, and
Mhm.
I have a lot of friends who
And you're
want to
talking
talk.
to us.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of talking.
So, but I'm a comic. I'm used to doing 2 shows a night. Like that's not the hard part for me. The hard part is the emotions of it every
Mhm.
night
Right.
and going so deep into my parents and people I lost, and my birthday's coming up and Bob Saget wishes me happy birthday in a video in the show
Huh?
that occurred to me last night is going to become very real next
Yeah.
week. So there's these there's a human experience playing out on stage every night.
Yeah. You said you're turning 60?
Yeah, don't tell anybody.
What are you doing for the birthday?
I was just thinking like I was going to have a party but I have 2 shows that night,
You're not-
and then I have a matinee the next day.
Yeah.
So I was thinking of maybe just renting out the Irish bar next to the theater,
That's fun.
making it just a wild, like, here the crew comes over, my
That's
family's
fun.
around, and we just do kind of a punk rock improvised party
like
outside
that.
the theater. And
That sounds good. That's a
you know,
good thing.
otherwise I'm going to do a fancy party downtown. By the time I get out of there, it's an hour drive in traffic on a
Yeah.
Saturday night. All my friends are flying in. They're all going to expect some fancy party, but I
Yeah.
think I might go the other way and
Very
just
good.
like, have a couple drinks. And to me, it's not about the party; it's about the show right now.
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm
You could always
talking out
delay the
loud.
birthday party too, and till
Yeah,
like a few months from now.
I probably could
Yeah.
have a big blowout. I love parties. The only reason I'm talking about this out loud is because I grew up
He's thinking about where
True.
he's
in the
gonna do it.
catering business.
Yeah.
So
that's right.
parties are like
See, now you're reliving Rosie again.
exactly.
Here it goes.
Here we go, Gail. You're right. You should be a shrink.
Oh, she basically is.
Maybe you should
trust
sit
me,
here
I
and I
am a
should sit on
shrink.
the couch.
Nobody's listening to what I'm saying, but I am a shrink.
Everybody's listening. What are you
They
talking
are
about?
listening. People meet me on the street, ask me these questions. We've had this happen in Florida. A woman came out of a store and said, "I have a terrible problem."
Oh yeah.
And she started asking my advice, and I said, "I'm really not a psychiatrist or psychologist. I'm happy to give you my opinion,
Yeah.
It's because you're no BS and people want to hear it straight.
but
Like I'm sure you feel that way with roasting too sometimes. Like that's why it's funny. It's because it's kind of the
as long as
truth,
it doesn't
right?
get mean. See, nobody mean as long as it's not mean spirited. I think you can roast anybody and have a good time and laugh.
I know you think that.
I know I do.
I agree,
I,
by the way.
I think people have to be honest and talk about their thoughts. And if they know it's coming from a good place, then you take it for what it is. And it's very much like Don Rickles and all those comedians who were so wonderful, and Jackie Mason. They were funny. They weren't mean. They were just funny. And they give you a little bit of a
Yeah.
zets every once in a while.
Right.
But it wasn't disgusting bad humor. It was funny.
Well, the mantra I always use, and it's not, I didn't create it, but it's I only roast the ones we love.
Right. Well, that's
And if I
that's
take the
very good.
time to write a great joke, it means I like you.
Mhm.
True.
If I ignore you,
Right.
that's the insult.
Yeah, that's
Exactly.
That's
Very
good.
good.
So, Grandma, if I put you on the clock and gave you 30 seconds to roast me, do you think you could do it?
I don't think I'd ever want to roast you.
But
I
you
don't think I'd
basically
want to roast you.
But you love me. Jeff said if you love me, you'll
love you.
roast me.
I love you. I'd like to smack you around sometimes, but I don't think I want to roast you. You're too sweet.
Okay, fine. Jeff, you've roasted like so many iconic people. Is there anyone still on the list that you want to?
Oh, wow.
Number one, who would you like to roast?
Who would be a good roast?
Today's world. I don't know. Everybody. Putin.
People keep mentioning certain names to me. Springsteen is an idol
you
of
could
mine.
be a roast.
They would be a good one. He
That
has
would
a
be a good
sense of
one.
humor.
Yeah.
It's like for me, it's best when it's on a celebration,
Right.
or an achievement. Like
Mhm.
Tom Brady worked
Yeah.
so
Right.
well because he was retiring
Right.
and starting this new career in broadcasting and owning teams. And I think the roast helped set that in motion for him.
Mhm.
It kind of put the past away.
Right.
He doesn't have to hear another divorce joke for the rest of his
Exactly.
life.
Right.
He did it. He
Right.
sat through it. So I would say not who, but why.
Right.
Like if if you told me Oprah's turning a certain age, I'd go,
Right.
that would be a great roast.
Right.
To me, I fantasize about roasting Oprah. Obama
Yeah.
would be a great one. Political people are always a little nervous about that type of stuff, but showing you can laugh at yourself is a great strength, I think.
Agree. That totally makes sense. Okay, let's move on to our Ask Grandma Anything and Jeff. So these are questions that our audience wrote in on Instagram about their dating lives and things like that. So we'll get both
Oh, I love it.
your opinions. Okay, so actually the first one is what to do about an extremely mean in-law from hell. Grandma, you want to go first?
Well, I think you have to if you're in a marriage, you're in a relationship, in-laws come along with it. You almost have to just keep your ears shut and your mouth shut. walk away, excuse yourself, go get a Coca-Cola in the kitchen and say, "Oh, I forgot to do something. I'll be back in a minute." Try to avoid conflict because it really doesn't work. And you're not going to change their dispositions, I don't think.
Hmm.
What do you think?
Well, I'm always in the diplomacy
Right,
state of mind. Life's too short for fights.
right.
Having grown up in the catering business, I saw a lot of families through the window of the kitchen,
Mm.
but I saw families fighting over things that they shouldn't be fighting about.
Mm.
I just was spent time with my nephew, who I mentioned is getting married, and one piece of advice I gave them was, don't fight about the wedding. Let her
That's
do
right.
what she wants.
Exactly.
And don't fight about the wedding because, gowns,
It's
seating.
one day. It's one day that you forget.
That you fantasize about your entire
She
childhood.
is
I
not
know.
forgetting about Eddie.
I
That
know,
They're
I
gonna
know.
they're gonna capture it with cameras.
Exactly. But I'm telling you, in the long run, it's just one day. And let the girl, if she really is that into it, let her do whatever
Of
she wants.
course. But I told him, I told both of them, if you guys are united, if you're having fun, everyone will have fun, and don't fight.
Exactly. Good
Yeah.
advice.
I'm a very high road with that kind of stuff.
So I think if this girl has a really terrible in-law, she just has to walk away from it.
Not only does she have great parents, they're from Hong Kong.
Oh.
They came to my show the other day.
Oh, wow.
Oh, this is your nephew's.
This is my nephew's
fiance.
new in-laws.
Okay.
Mhm.
Or soon to be in-laws. Wonderful, wonderful people, scholars. And they wanted to go to the US Open. They're very into tennis. And they live in DC. So after the show, I go to see them, and he's sitting in the theater, and he bought a DFWTJ hat. You want to tell your fans what that is?
Wait.
You saw the show.
DF, don't fuck with the Jews.
Yeah. So now here's this beautiful Chinese man wearing a "Don't
Incredible.
fuck with the Jews" hat
Incredible.
all over DC. And I go, this guy's going to be
He's
my
gonna be
mishpacha.
perfect.
This is my new family. I love this
love
guy.
So
So-
good.
So we're very lucky we have some new family members who are representing.
Yes, I love that. Also, in that bit, you kind of go through all the things that Jews have created
Yeah,
since the beginning of
yeah.
time. What is your favorite?
Oh, wow. Probably noodle kugel.
Don't blame you.
I would have said brisket.
Yeah, I didn't have to think very long.
That was quick.
We're quick. We're quick on this.
I
You're
think
making me hungry.
Forget Einstein. Forget Salk. Forget the
Yeah.
polio vaccine. We're going right to the
Yeah, we're
brisket.
going right to
right to the
brisket.
noodle pudding.
Checks
Yeah,
out.
well done, please.
I
No
think-
raisins.
Another question. We're getting lower and lower.
I'm getting hungry just doing the podcast.
I know, literally same. I think the microphone, because I use it the most,
Okay.
is the best invention.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a joke in the
Was
show.
that a
Yeah.
Was that a Jewish person that invented the
Yes, I-
microphone?
Yes.
According
Oh
to
my
you.
Yeah.
gosh.
In the show, I go through all the creative
I thought you were joking.
inventions that Jews have come up with. And at one point I go, the microphone. At some point, some Jew was like, I think we need to be louder.
So good.
Yeah, people love that one. Thank you.
Okay, so
There's a lot of good Jewish jokes in the show.
I love
a lot.
You don't hear them often anymore.
It's my favorite kind of humor, so
it.
I
Mine
enjoy
too.
it. Okay, so someone said, I'm 53. Should I give up on trying to find a partner?
No,
Oh,
come on.
no,
That's
she's only
ridiculous.
halfway in her life. Why are you giving up?
Yeah,
You're going to live to be 110 now.
right.
You absolutely don't give up. I mean, just be realistic, though.
Yeah,
You're no longer 20.
right.
So find somebody who's age appropriate or whatever and who has commonality of interest. And have fun. Don't worry about it. You're not having children anymore, so just have a good time together. Find
Exactly.
someone,
Here.
just enjoy yourself,
I love that.
right?
Yeah.
I
Nobody
think
should
you're
be
never too
alone.
old.
Nobody should be alone.
No.
You know, I talk about some of this in the show about bouncing back, and part of that, human beings aren't made to mourn forever.
Correct.
That's really getting stuck. That's not fair.
No.
And part of that, and I went through this with some of my friends who passed away. I would talk to their wives after, and I go, no, you have to. It's been a year. It's been 2 years.
Right.
My friend would not want you to be by yourself.
That's right.
And people shouldn't be that way. I talk about my grandfather in the show about how I had to, push him to go to the senior center
They need sociability.
right.
Everybody needs to be sociable.
Yeah.
Hanging out with other old people will make you younger.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I loved that story too.
Yeah, I talk about my grandfather going to the senior center. Finally, I made him do a practice run in his car, and he wouldn't go, and I don't need anybody, and I'm fine. And he finally goes, and he's gone all day. 6.5 hours later, I hear honk, honk. I go outside. He has 3 ladies in his car.
Oh,
I
he
said,
overdid it.
I said, Pop, what's going on here? He said, I'm the only one that can still drive at night.
That's the best joke.
It's very good.
Yeah, it's a lot of good laughs.
Speaking of, someone said, "What's the best place to meet a nice guy in New York City?"
Oh,
Oh, you're asking me.
I mean,
I
I guess
have
it
no
depends on
what their
your
interests
age
are.
and your interests, where you're hanging out, and all of that.
okay, I'll throw one out there.
Go ahead.
And it's just not because I'm a comedian. Comedy clubs,
Oh,
Yeah.
comedy shows. If not my show, the comedy clubs.
That's a good idea.
But then when
because-
do you talk to people? Because you're just listening.
Afterwards or
kind of.
during.
You're coming in, you're online, you're going out.
True.
There's
that's a good
certain
idea.
nights that are more social. They always have a bar and a restaurant.
Yeah.
I think finding people with a sense of humor can add a lot of time to your life. And the other thing that no one ever talks about, comedians, I don't care if it's a man or a woman comedian, they're icebreakers. You go on a
Mm.
date. I'm already talking about the things that you wouldn't get to till your 8th date.
Right.
Mhm.
So I'm already breaking the ice for you. I never want to be a buzzkill. I want my show. I want to be a wingman
Yeah.
for whoever. I'm not talking about straight or gay or whatever. Whoever you are, a date at a comedy club, I think, is a good
idea. I think
icebreaker.
That's
That's a
great.
good one, Kim.
Yeah.
The only thing is, if you go to Comedy Cellar and they take your phone away, you can't give someone your number unless you're
Or write it on a
memorizing it.
napkin.
That
Yeah.
makes it even
Come on, be a
cooler.
little
Yeah, it does.
creative.
Yeah.
It makes it
Right.
sexier. You got to pass a napkin. You got to wait around
Exactly.
outside.
True.
You got to.
True.
I like that.
I'm into it.
And by the way, by putting your phone away is probably how you
The
found
better-
that person.
Exactly.
Because now your head was up and you're looking around and
Yeah. Okay.
you catch someone
good advice.
smile. You see the whites of their eyes.
Good.
That's how animals meet in the
The
wilderness.
wild. They don't do it texting.
Okay, we're gonna do a quick round of Grandma Gail's old-fashioned dating quiz.
Oh, great.
So it's basically rapid fire, and we'll see whether you're more traditional or more modern in your thinking around dating.
Okay.
Okay. Would you rather receive a call or a text if it's just to say hi?
Oh, yeah.
A call?
Or a text.
I don't think it matters that much for
Okay.
just to say hi,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yeah. Okay.
I happen to have learned from a friend of mine, at least I picked up the habit of FaceTiming more because I feel like it's more of a
Personal.
personal thing.
Totally.
Especially, I started that. My friend Seth Green, my neighbor, the actor, he started FaceTiming during the pandemic.
Okay. Well, that's very important. That was an
And I
important
kept that,
time.
and we've kept that tradition up.
Good.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you have the time, 100%.
Yeah.
Somebody always has time.
Yeah.
Would you sleep with someone on the first date?
I guess I have, but I don't think that's the goal.
Yeah. Open to it.
Yeah, I guess I'm open to it, but that's not always the priority.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dating apps or setups?
Setups.
Would you move in together before getting engaged or married?
I would, yeah. I would think that would be important in this modern age,
I think so too.
especially with these New York rents.
Yeah. Split the rent.
2 is better than 1.
Yup.
Yeah, what are we doing? It's like you got to figure it out.
Would you post the person on social media or keep them off until it's serious?
It's a great question, and it's always been a conundrum with me
Mhm.
because my brand is insult humor. So if I was to post a girlfriend,
Yeah.
she's liable to get roasted. Not everybody's ready for that in a week or 2 of dating.
Mhm.
A year or 2 in, I think.
They know who they're dating at that point.
But you're right. And so to me, I like the privacy.
Mm-hmm.
The jokes are funnier to me when they're private and personal, and the
Mhm.
relationship is stronger when it's not for show.
Yeah.
I agree.
Should one person pay for the date or should you split, alternate?
theoretically, Grandma Gail, you might have a strong opinion about this.
Well, we never had the women pick up the check, but now it's a different age, and women are as successful as men today. And it depends. You could pick up one week, the gentleman can pick it up the next time, or it depends on the economic situation of the couple. If somebody is clearly doesn't matter how much money they spend, then let that person pay when they want to pay. I don't think it matters very
I think
much
it's the
anymore. I think
preference of the couple.
I think it's the preference of the couple. I think we started these questions when I think about it, about younger people dating. I think once you're over a certain age, it really doesn't matter. When
Right.
you're in your 20s and you're first going out in the social scene, I still think the guy should pick up the check. Because like so many people on the Instagram, they've got to fix their hair, they've got to get a new dress. There's a lot of
Well, it's
expense
already
that goes in
expensive for
a girl.
Yeah.
So I understand that. But once you're hit the age of 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, you know what? Whoever wants to pay for it, let them pay for it. It doesn't matter.
It's funny, like, yeah, now I've always picked up the check because I don't
That's
know,
the way you were taught.
chivalry or something.
Exactly.
I don't know if
No,
that's
it was
still a
really
word
that
that people
way.
have to Google these days, but I always saw that. But some of my most amazing dates were when my girlfriend at the time said, I'm taking you to this.
Yeah.
One of my greatest memories, core memories for being a comedian, was a girlfriend with an expense account. And I remember this because I ran into her at my theater. She was buying tickets for her and her husband to come to my show. I dated her when I was a beginning comedian.
Wow.
And hi, Mindy. And she took me on her Sassoon jeans expense account when she was a Garmento 30 years ago
Right.
to Carnegie Hall to see the comedian Richard Lewis.
Oh my God.
And I'll never forget that she
Right.
did that for me. So,
Right.
It's so nice.
I think it can go either way. But
I agree.
generally
That's
speaking,
thoughtful, too.
I can't imagine not picking up the check.
Yeah. I think you're
Much
pretty
more traditional.
split. Real, but like,
No, I've been counting.
I
oh,
dated-
yeah?
What
Okay.
I dated a billionaire once
Yeah.
who ran her own company, and I still picked up the check.
Yeah.
every time.
Because I
That's-
do think that's still right.
I agree.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
But I think today, if the woman wants to pick it up and you've gone out a bunch of times and she feels like she wants to do it, go for it. Who
Mhm.
cares?
Jeff, thank you so much for joining us today. This was so fun. Tell people where they can get tickets to the show and follow you and all
Thank
that
you.
jazz.
JeffRossBroadway.com for tickets. I hope everybody comes. I
It's
go
only
out.
till the end of the month, so everybody has to
Come
buy
now.
tickets. Yeah,
Come now.
exactly.
We gotta
Got another month, 3
and
weeks.
and shout out to the proud Jews out there that have been filling up this theater. It makes me so happy. But I also get a big kick out of seeing people from every ethnicity, every walk of life singing with me, howling. I howl at the end of the show
Mhm.
like a wolf, like my German Shepherd. So that part has been amazing, seeing all the different types of people. Broadway, I'm like a tourist attraction.
you
Like
are.
It's
that
wonderful.
part's really fun. So go to JeffRossBroadway.com. Come see the show while we're still there, and follow me, The Real Jeffrey Ross, on Instagram, and send me your reviews for the show.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
Thank you so much. And thanks everyone for listening. We will see you next
And
week.
wait, last
But
thing.
Jeff has
Last
something else
thing.
to say.
Thank you both for having me on your
Of
podcast. I'm
course.
now going to be a regular listener. This was so fun.
Thank
Good.
Have you ever had a comedian on before?
Yes, we have.
You,
we had
Jared
Jared
Freed.
Fried.
He was
He's
one
like
of
a
our
young-
first.
He's great.
He's
He's
so
a
fun.
wonderful
Yeah.
guy.
A few. I feel bad that I'm not remembering the other ones.
Well, we will. We'll think about it. And then
He was my favorite. I
Well,
think.
I'm on.
And now you're my
I think he
favorite.
was on twice.
He was, yeah.
He's very good with the dating question.
He is,
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
We talked a lot about relationships.
That was,
stuff.
yeah, exactly.
He's a good guy.
Yes,
Yeah.
very.
Well, I'm very flattered that you had me on, and thank you both for wearing banana yellow, my
Oh, of
favorite
course.
color.
Honor,
Your
absolutely.
honor. All right, everyone. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.